Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Fernando. You guys are doing great. Welcome to a new start of the week. Today's video is gonna be looking at the coolest countries in the world to visit. We'll have a look at it and I'll give my feedback on it. I have some expertise in going to various countries and also learning about countries, culture, and also working with some tourism organizations. So without further ado, let's get to the video.
Welcome to Mojo Travels, and today
it's
we're
Mojo
counting down our
Travels.
picks for the top 10 coolest countries in the world for your
It's
next
top
visit.
10.
For this list, we're looking at countries from around the world that, each in their own way, are undeniably cool. These can be up-and-coming hotspots for contemporary culture, time-honored classics that never get old, or anything in between.
Okay, some of my suggestions would definitely be UAE would probably be there. Singapore would be there. And Japan would be there. So yeah, these are my three picks: Japan, Singapore, and UAE. Let's see how many of these three make it into the top 10.
Peru. Machu Picchu might
Oh,
be overdone, but this country doesn't begin and end with the iconic Inca citadel. A beautiful and diverse nation, Peru is rich in history, culture, and great people. Lima can feel a bit sleepy compared to the average capital city, but the vibe is more laid back than boring. City of artisans, marketplaces, and mouth-watering food, Lima is a gift to travelers, one that reveals new layers and complexities the longer you
are they
spend
the
there.
Incas who
Of
live
course,
there?
you'd be remiss to spend your entire trip to Peru in the capital city. The coastline boasts
Okay, so that colorful mountains, forgot his name, but there was this big conspiracy guy who I was following religiously, no pun intended, last year. I think his name is Robert Dyke or David Dyke, one of them Dyke guys. He apparently went there, and that's when he became a controversial figure. I mean, like he started having all these conspiracy theories in his head. He did a podcast with True Jody. I might link it down. So he did mention that mountains over there where he felt like a strange phenomena, and he completely kind of changed his whole life over there or something like that. He used to be a footballer. He used to play for Man City, I believe. So yeah, just a fun fact about that mountains.
incredible surfing opportunities and quiet beachside retreats, while the Peruvian wilderness beckons more adventurous travelers. With that all being said, now that the government has put restrictions in place to protect historic sites like Machu Picchu, it might be worth getting on the waitlist for a guilt-free visit. Cuba.
Hmm.
Small and once
Oh.
relatively insular, Cuba's remarkable history has resulted in a country
Thoughts and prayers go out to Cuba. They are kind of going through a lot in their communities, and a lot of my friends who have heritage with Cuban ethnicity or like from that culture, they are a bit stressed out and a bit worried about the situation over there. Hopefully, things get resolved.
like no other, especially now that it's redefining itself. Cuba's coastal resorts have long traded in the cookie-cutter all-inclusive experience, but that's not what we're talking about today. No, to understand the magic of Cuba and its undefinable, totally unpretentious cool
Wow,
factor,
that looks so
you
pretty.
need to venture into the heart of the country amongst the local people. In the capital city of
Oh,
Havana,
these cars are
vintage
so
cars
dope.
cruise by once opulent colonial and Art Deco buildings, many now crumbling. Music drifts out of the cafes, where a great meal can be had for next to nothing, and the
Looks a bit
welcome
like
is always
European,
sure to be a
you know?
warm one. Cuba is an island nation that
Oh, now
really
that
needs
looks
to
like
be explored
Kerala,
at length to be fully appreciated.
like the trees
Return
and
as many
stuff.
times as you like. There will always be something new to discover.
Wonder what the
Bhutan.
cost.
These days,
Oh,
travelers in the
Bhutan.
know
Fun fact about Bhutan is one of the happiest countries in the world according to the happiness index. Yeah, there's a thing called happiness index. They have like some 13, 17 pillars. I forgot. I remember studying this. But yeah, it's the happiest country in the world. Everyone's so happy. The government is so friendly with the people. Also, another fun fact, if you're an Indian, you can actually visit Bhutan without a visa. But if you're not an Indian, it is one of the most expensive visas to get. Finally, Indian passport has some advantage over the other passports of the world.
are increasingly prioritizing authenticity over tourist-centric experiences. If unique, culturally rich travel is your vibe, then it doesn't get much more hip than Bhutan. A truly
They do seem happy.
once-in-a-lifetime experience, a trip to Bhutan is also a trip to one of the happiest places on Earth. No, Bhutan doesn't have its own Disney theme park, but the government puts major emphasis on its Gross National Happiness Index,
Yeah,
prioritizing the
GHI,
mental
that's what
and
it's called.
spiritual well-being of its residents. Bhutan is a tiny Himalayan country where Buddhism is intimately intertwined into everyday life. A local guide is part of the package when you explore this remarkable country. And though that might seem a bit overbearing at first, rest assured that this is a fun-loving and welcoming nation, just one committed to protecting itself from over-tourism. Culture and the environment are top priorities
That's one
in
of the reasons
Bhutan,
why
and
they
that
have an
translates into a
expensive
truly
visa.
life-changing experience for visitors. South Africa. South Africa has
Oh.
risen above the systematic racism of apartheid to become a must-visit destination.
Another country going through a lot currently. Prayers out to South Africa. Man, Cuba, South Africa, boy. I mean, Indonesia is going through something right now currently.
Attracting visitors from around the globe, South Africa is the ultimate playground for outdoor adventures. Whether you're looking to catch some waves, spot wildlife on an ethical safari, or explore epic
Oh,
landscapes,
that is
South
so
Africa
beautiful.
is the place
So
to be.
beautiful.
The city of Cape Town is stunning, and the beach parties are the stuff of legend. As for the wine tasting opportunities, South Africa's reputation precedes it. Johannesburg can be overwhelming for first-time visitors.
Oh,
It's
that looks
vibrant and
so
lively
cool.
at its best, but can also feel downright chaotic at times. It's in rapidly changing cities like this, however, that the most exciting developments take place, and the Joburg culinary scene is one to watch in the food world. It's also got a booming art scene to round out the experience. Italy.
Nice.
Trendy comes and goes, but Italy is a more eternal sort of cool that never goes out of style. Like Greece, it balances ancient history and a wealth of monuments with modern fashion
Fair.
and nightlife to strike a perfect balance of new and old. A trip to
Yeah.
Italy can be spent hopping from one
Florence,
major tourist
Firenze.
attraction to the next, but it's
Yes.
just as rewarding to simply
That's the
wander
Paseo
around
di
taking in the sights and
one in
sounds of
Venice.
daily life. What makes Italy so special is that,
That's
be it
the
in bustling
steps,
cities like
Spanish
Rome
steps, I
and
believe,
Florence
in
or
Rome.
out in the countryside, people simply do
Oh, we've been
not
to almost
rush.
every
They
place
take
in
their
that-
time.
in this,
They sit
clips.
and enjoy their coffee. They get together with friends for aperitivo after work. From the
Just put
youthful
it
and
bloody
vibrant city of Bologna to Italy's increasingly
Bologna
popular
as well.
south, this is a country of
As
casual,
well.
cool, and effortless elegance.
Yeah, but beware of the over tourism and all that. So
Sri
yeah.
Lanka.
Sri
Tourism
Lanka,
plays
nice.
a major role in the economy of this South Asian
They
island
do.
nation.
Fun fact, you can also watch blue whale. Like, I'm a big fan of like marine animals and stuff. So there's actually a blue whale sanctuary in Sri Lanka. People think that you can only see blue whales in the Pacific Ocean, but there are some that appear in the Indian Ocean, and you can actually go to Sri Lanka and see it.
When tourism becomes a key source of income for locals, tourist traps, opportunism, and a drop in authenticity typically aren't far behind. But such is the magic of Sri Lanka. Glistening in the Indian Ocean, a land of awe-inspiring views, ancient sites, and beaches that seem to stretch on forever, Sri Lanka doesn't need to change to suit the needs of tourists. It's already got a winning formula. The country is only working with about 25,000 square miles of land, but it packs in 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, a rainforest teeming with colorful wildlife, tea
Ooh.
plantations, and more. Oh, and on top of everything else, it's also an extremely budget-friendly destination. Of course, those looking to splurge can always get pampered at one of the island's high-end spas.
So I've been to Sri Lanka, but I've only been to Colombo, and for me, Colombo, I felt like was just like another city in India, especially South India. But yeah, I feel like Sri Lanka has a lot more to offer, and I feel like, I mean, I went there as a kid, so might have to revisit Sri Lanka. Interesting. Might go with someone there.
South Korea. Despite
Ooh,
often being
Seoul.
overshadowed in the news by its neighbor to the north, this East Asian country has established itself as a must-visit destination. Officially known
expensive, I
as the
believe.
Republic of Korea, this gem of a country earns its place on the podium in no small part thanks to its capital city, Seoul. This awe-inspiring metropolis is on the cutting edge of fashion and beauty. The streets of neighborhoods like Apgujeongdong
Wow.
and Shinsadong can often feel like one big catwalk. Seoul is a city chock full of unique
I
boutiques,
know a lot of people
art
lived
installations,
there.
and
Like,
once-in-a-lifetime
They all
experiences.
had good experiences.
And yet, despite everything that locals have going on, they're never too busy to welcome travelers or point them in the right direction. Seoul's magnetic quality often makes South Korea a single destination trip. Venture beyond the capital, however, and you'll be
Ooh, that's
greeted
pretty.
with stunning countryside and a wide variety
very
of
pretty.
must-visit festivals. Mexico. There are few countries in the world that offer
Ooh.
such travel opportunities.
Jess, are you watching?
Yes, most nations have a mix of city and nature to be appreciated, but a first-time visit to any country usually follows a fairly straightforward trajectory. Mexico is a real choose-your-own-adventure sort of destination. You can relax on the beach sipping drinks at an all-inclusive, or travel further along the coast to find an unpretentious little stretch of sand to call your own. In
Would
Mexico
love to visit
City,
the
which is quickly
Aztec
becoming a capital of
temples and
culture
stuff.
and all things cool, a booming food scene, focus on local artists, and stunning architecture await. It's not
Those glasses look like they're made in China.
the
Just saying.
only population center you'll want to visit, however. The Pueblos Mágicos, or Magic Towns program, puts a spotlight on the unique charms of a number of rural towns across the country. Then you've got the Mexican wilderness, which offers no shortage of adventure.
Oh, these
No matter
farms
how
that
you
keep
approach
seeing.
Mexico, there's always one constant: total authenticity. Japan. Modern, elegant,
One country came
technologically
in.
advanced, steeped in history, traditional. Japan
Oh,
is a
man.
land of
The
apparent
Olympics.
contradictions, and this makes it easily the coolest place on Earth to be right now. Cities like Tokyo and Osaka boast eye-catching skylines and neon candy-hued lights with a futuristic vibe. Around the next corner, however, one encounters
Is
an
that the
immaculately preserved temple or
Hijiyama Castle?
shrine. And as you move beyond the city limits, you soon find yourself in stunning natural spaces that, more than just untarnished, feel as if they've been frozen in time. Japan is the sort of place where you can immerse yourself in the fascinating nightlife one day and retreat to a mountain spa or onsen the next.
You know what? I mean, so I went to Japan when I was like a little kid, and honestly, of all the cities I've been to, Tokyo was one of the most romantic cities that I've been. It's weird, but like I find Tokyo to be more romantic than Venice or Florence or Paris or whatever. Like there was something about when I went to Tokyo, maybe because I was in high school and things were happening, but yeah, like Tokyo, all I could remember in Tokyo is apart from all the big buildings and the malls and the automation and all the robots and stuff is that I was like, oh my God, this is such a romantic destination. I don't know. Maybe I was just being a kid, so.
Tokyo is among the most visited cities in the world, and yet the locals never lose their commitment to hospitality. From food
Yeah.
and fashion to architecture and the arts, Japan does it all and makes it look easy.
That was it. Okay. So yeah, wow, Singapore didn't make it and neither did UAE, which for once I'm like, okay, fair enough. Like it's like UAE doesn't have to be in every single list, you know. All these countries were much better than what you could get in the UAE. Sadly, that's the truth. But yeah, it was quite interesting to see these countries. Again, they do promote, all of these countries do have very strong tourism boards. I think America didn't make it there because it's too big and it's so divided over here per state. But yeah, my biggest surprise was Sri Lanka. Not that I thought of it, I knew there were a lot of things to do in Sri Lanka, but I feel like the way they portrayed it and they showed a few things, I kind of want to go. Like of all this list, Sri Lanka is the place that I want to go to visit. Also Mexico has a new, what do you call, type of tourism that happened post-COVID, where a lot of tourism companies are doing this work from Mexico kind of a thing, where basically if you work for a company that does remote working, you can work in Mexico. It's a bit strange. I'm still getting used to it. There's like something going on, like in a new breed of tourism that's sprawling around Mexico. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below which out of these countries would you like to visit, or if you have been there, what was the best thing that you saw in those countries. For me, obviously it's going to be Japan. When I went there in 2006 or 7, I saw things that came later on in other countries, like after 10 years. So they were like way ahead of their time, and I believe if you go there now, you can watch the Olympics, but also you could see things that possibly would come to like your country after like a while. So it's quite an innovative city. Anyways, that's it, guys. Hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.